The women, 2 deaths, both found at the bottom of a staircase, and 1 man connected to both cases. What really happened inside the Peterson home on December 9, 2001? This is the true story that confused experts, destroyed a family, and shook the American justice system. This is the staircase. It starts with a frantic 911 call from novelist Michael Peterson. He's breathless, panicked, telling the operator his wife Kathleen has fallen down the stairs. When paramedics arrive at their Durham, North Carolina home, they find a scene far more disturbing than a simple fall. Kathleen is at the bottom of the stairs, lifeless in a pool of blood. The walls are splattered. She has 7 deep gashes on the back of her head. But here's where it gets strange. Her skull isn't fractured. There's no brain damage. The injuries don't match a typical fall, but they don't look like a normal beating either. The police are immediately suspicious. For them, this isn't an accident. It's a murder scene. Detectives start digging. They analyze the blood spatter on the walls, noticing patterns that suggest multiple impacts over a period of time, not all at once. They search for a weapon but can't find one. Then they notice something is missing from the fireplace, a long metal tool called a blowpoke. It's gone. The police lock onto this as their prime murder weapon theory. Their investigation turns personal. They uncover Michael's private life, finding emails that show he was communicating with men online, a secret Kathleen might not have known about. The prosecution's narrative takes shape. Kathleen discovered Michael's secrets. They had a massive argument. He snapped, killed her, and then staged the scene to look like an accident. And then, the case explodes. Investigators discover a shocking parallel from Michael's past. Years earlier, while living in Germany, a close family friend named Elizabeth Ratliff was found dead. The location? At the bottom of a staircase. Michael Peterson was the last person to see her alive. He even adopted her 2 daughters after her death. To women, the staircase deaths, 1 man. It's a chilling coincidence that turns the entire investigation on its head. Authorities in the U.S. have Elizabeth's body exhumed. Forensic experts claim her injuries look eerily similar to Kathleen's. Suddenly, Michael doesn't just look like a grieving husband. He looks like a man with a dark, repeating pattern of behavior. As the case goes to trial, a French film crew is given unprecedented access, capturing every moment. They document the fierce courtroom battles, the conflicting expert testimonies, and the raw, emotional breakdowns of the family. We see Michael's strangely calm demeanor and his children torn apart, some believing he's innocent, others convinced he's guilty. The prosecution pushes hard on their blowpoke theory. They argue it was the perfect weapon to create Kathleen's unusual injuries. But then, a stunning development. The defense team finds the missing blowpoke. It's in the garage, covered in dust and cobwebs, with no traces of blood. It looks like it hasn't been touched in years. The prosecution's main theory collapses in front of everyone. The defense counters, arguing that Kathleen, exhausted and stressed, had been drinking and had taken Valium. They say she simply slipped and fell on the narrow, poorly lit staircase, hitting her head multiple times on her way down. But then, they introduce one of the most bizarre theories in legal history, the owl theory. Microscopic feathers and owl DNA were found tangled in Kathleen's hair. Could a large owl have attacked her outside, causing the deep gashes on her head? Before she stumbled inside and fell, it sounded absurd, but the evidence was real. Despite the questions and the collapsed weapon theory, the jury delivers its verdict. Michael Peterson is found guilty of murder and sentenced to life in prison. But the story doesn't end there. Years later, a massive scandal erupts. The state's lead blood spatter expert, Dwayne Deaver, the very man whose testimony was crucial in convicting Michael, is exposed as a fraud. An internal investigation reveals he manipulated evidence, gave false testimony, and consistently exaggerated his findings in dozens of cases, including Michael Peterson's. With this revelation, Michael is granted a new trial, but he's older now, having already spent 8 years in prison, facing the uncertainty and emotional toll of another grueling trial. He makes a controversial choice. He accepts an Alford plea. It is a strange legal deal where he maintains his innocence, but acknowledges the state has enough evidence to likely convict him again. The plea allows him to walk free, but it doesn't clear his name. Today, Michael Peterson is a free man, and the central question remains unanswered. Did Kathleen Peterson accidentally fall? Was she the victim of a freak owl attack? Or did her husband kill her and, through a series of incredible legal twists, get away with murder? The case leaves us with every clue, every theory, and every lie, But ultimately, it's up to you to decide what you believe happened on that staircase.